here. Right away, I'm looking to get everything going. Get this going here and get back to here, right? But if he's good, my timing is a little bit off, right? And don't get this off in time. He's gonna lift his hips, twist his knees, and knock me to the mat. From here, it's very important that we don't panic, okay? Right here, I'm in right leg lock danger, but there's still some steps he has to go through. So, as a defensive principle, I like you to first think about what you're doing with your foot, how you're positioning your foot. Right? The better you get, the more you can like have your foot caught but peel his legs off. But when you're just like playing near this position, just look at the leg. We want to look at what kind of lock Foley can put on us. He has basically 3 options. There's also 4th, but just keep it to the most basic 3. There's the ankle lock. For him to have an ankle lock, he has to have his wrist all the way under my foot here. Yeah, here. Okay, locked up like this. Okay, this one hurts. It's hard to pull the foot out, but it takes some time to put on. And it's mostly attacking the foot. So if you have a flexible foot, you can stay here for a little bit before shit starts to go south, right? He needs to be under my leg here, holding on like this. That's the most common one. That's the one that's legal in every experience level, okay? The second is the heel hook. For him to get a heel hook, he needs to catch my toes in his armpit, around his bicep, and he needs his wristwatch here under my heel. This is a more advanced leg lock. This one hurts a lot more when it comes on, because not only is he attacking my foot, he's also attacking my knee. Okay? For him to have a good heel hook, he needs to be under here, he needs to be on his elbow, hooking my heel like this. Alright? Last thing he can go for is a toe hold. Same thing with the heel hook. This time he's more his arms manipulating my foot. Okay? This one here, you can do it with 2 hands, but you can also do it with 1 hand. So what we're going to look at is a posture that initially defends all of these leg locks, okay? And that's where I want, when I land here, if he doesn't have a good grip on my foot, I want my heel curled into his ribs, and I want to boot my foot like this, here. So when Fred goes to put on an ankle lock, he has to work a little bit here. He has to lift my leg, get under my shin here, and even when he tries to put the ankle lock on, as long as my foot is booted, it's hard to put that on. So number 1, we want a boot, but we want the heel turned in, and we want it down by the hip. Okay? Now, if I boot up here, just wrap an ankle lock. Yeah, if I boot up here, I can still tank the ankle lock for a little bit, but when he switches to the heel hook, he has a great grip here. Okay? So if I just do this, the ankle lock is difficult, but my heel is so big here that it's easy for him to push back my toes and catch my heel. If I just want to defend against the heel hook, I point my toes like a ballerina here, and when he tries to get the heel hook, it's difficult. I keep turning my heel in and pointing my knee out. But if he switches to an ankle lock here, my toes are already bent, and the ankle lock can come on pretty quick. Okay? Same thing with the toe hold with this one. Like getting the toe hold here is pretty difficult. My heel is so small, he doesn't really have a good purchase on it, but if he switches to the ankle lock, this one hurts, okay? So I want you to play around with these 3 here. So you land down here, curl your heel in, point your toes out. Your partner tries to go for an ankle lock, pull it up, you boot the foot. Your partner tries to switch to a heel hook, you point your toes, and you want to try to keep pointing your knee out in the way here. Should be hard for him to get under here. Okay, he switches back to the ankle lock, we boot the foot, push it in deeper. And we just want to play with this, around with this, okay? If you don't know how to do, set up a basic heel hook, on ankle lock, I'll come over and help you, but let's just play with this posture here. make sure when you're hiding the heel that you point your heel into his ribs here and point your knee out. All right, let's just play around with this for just a couple of minutes, back and forth, and free, 1, 2, 3.